My first experience dating as a fat person, and I was in high school and I was just a baby, and I wish I could go back and hug her.
Hey people, welcome and welcome back to the channel. Please don't forget to subscribe. In our today's conversation, we want to talk about dating while fat is the worst experience. So we are going to listen to some of the people who have experienced this. Kindly watch their videos and I'll be back to share my own thoughts. Please don't go away.
And when are we going to start being real with fat women and talking about having the uncomfortable conversations that when you are big, when you're overweight, when you're obese, when you're whatever medical category you fall into that say, bitch, you big as hell, when are we going to start being honest and saying you attract a certain type of man? That's my thing. Let's just be honest. Let's be real, because we are looked at like we are targets. We easy prey. Niggas look at us like, oh, she green. She gonna fold because ain't nobody really, they may not say this to themselves consciously. It may not be a conscious thing, but in their mind, all they hear is, oh, or all they see is that she's easy. That's it. That's because they assume you grow up in a society that already hates you, that programs you to believe that you're unlovable and not worthy of being chosen. So they assume they can come in and talk to you any kind of way and they can get what they want out of you. They assume it's going to be easy to get you on your back. They assume you're just going to be an easy catch and that's it. That's why a lot of y'all end up in situations where men are hiding you. This is why we are typically in these dynamics where we're not shown off. We're with men who really don't like us, don't love us, really might hate us, because we think all attention is good attention, and it's not. These men don't love you for real. And unless he's a man who really comes at you a certain type of way, he's respectful, he's not talking sexually to you, he really holding himself and you to a different standard, he really coming to you on some boss stuff, like really being a man. If he's really doing that, or really being a human being, a good person to you, then you can say, okay, maybe he really does like me for who I am, and he's not just here to get what he wants. But we have to start having the real conversations and talking about how your body is going to impact the type of man you attract. And it's not to say that women who are straight size do not attract not shit men, but when you big as hell or you just big, period, you're going to attract a certain type of dude at that level, and it's almost inevitable.
Here's how being plus size actually affects your dating life. This is based on my personal experiences, and you are welcome to come for me and disagree with me. I'm going to say nothing but what I believe is the truth. So I really believe, Uguti, there is no preset body type that can determine when it is that you find love. I believe that love is a gift and it is afforded to all, it is afforded to all. But I have found that the bigger that I let myself go, that's the smaller and smaller my dating pool would become. I found myself at my heaviest weight of 130 kgs. I found myself, guys, being a person who didn't have the standards that I used to have before. I remember when I always grew up being plus size, but there was a point in my life where I lost weight, Guys, I lost weight at some point in my life, and I was young and beautiful and all of these things that people consider socially acceptable. I want to tell you that at that phase of my life, guys, I even used to date people who were like bona fide millionaires. Like, they were millionaires, driving their G-Wagons, driving their nice cars, having nice houses and stuff like that. Well, although those guys did not have like my best interest at heart when I look back, but I had like a wide dating pool to choose from because I looked like what was the acceptable beauty standard. So the bigger you allow yourself to get, like, I'll make this analogy. I feel that if somebody has the perfect body, well, there's no such thing as a perfect weight, but you've got a socially acceptable body, socially acceptable face that the media presents as the beauty standard, you get this really big dustbin to choose from, and you get to sift through that dustbin and get to the bottom in order for you to find your types. So even if you are like beautiful and you're all this, I don't think it helps you much, because you still have to sift through that big dustbin to get your ideal match. You know what I mean? But now when you're plus size, I feel like you get a dustbin that is this big, and you have to like pick something decent to choose from, and likely you're not going to find this thing that you're looking for from like the small dustbin. I think that's what it does. You get more options when you are the beauty standard than you would if you were plus size. However, love remains a gift. It is something that the universe gives you. You can't, I believe, work yourself to a point where you will get it because you look a certain way. So that's how it affects you, and I think that it's in our best interest, if you want to attract your ideal match and your ideal partner, to be the best version of yourself, however that looks like to you. It doesn't mean that you need to lose 40 something kilograms the way that Sbongile did, but be your best in order for you to have a bigger dustbin to choose from.
I was just reminded that 9 years ago today, I had the first, how do I get these words out? My first experience dating as a fat person, and I was in high school and I was just a baby, and I wish I could go back and hug her. Way too young to be on dating apps, but it's right when they first came out. And so my friends and I would joke around and we would just talk to some people, and it was fairly innocent, and there was this one boy I was talking to that was like more upstate New York or maybe west or somewhere else, not near where I was living. We had been talking for a bit, and we never really planned to meet up just because neither of us had cars or a license yet or anything like that. But I was going to a concert with my friend, and it was in the town that he was in, and he was also going to that concert, and so we thought it would be a perfect idea to meet up then. I had shared with the kid that I was curvier, thicker. Frankly, I was actually 100 pounds lighter than I am now. And we had sent each other pictures back and forth. He knew exactly what I looked like. I wasn't trying to fake anything because the last thing I wanted to do was for him to be shocked and I'd be a catfish. I get to the concert, I'm so excited, I'm texting him, I'm thinking, I'm finally gonna have my first kiss. I see him from afar, I go to text him and say, hey, let's meet up, and he blocks me. And I'm like, I did not come all this way to be blocked. So I went up to him and tried to start a conversation, gave him a hug, and he was so awkward. I left him alone. I went on with the day, and eventually he unblocked me, and I was like, what happened? And he was like, you're not curvy, you're fat. It was so creepy. You creep me out so much. Like, how come you stalked me? How come you came to this concert? All this stuff. And I was like, we planned it. It was gaslighting. I was so embarrassed and ashamed, and I hated myself. And oh my God, relax. I thought, I will never find anybody if I am the way I am. And it's just so sad. And that would start the disaster of me dating and online dating for the rest of my life as a fat person. And I want you to know that if you're doing that, I see you, I hear you, I've been there, you're gonna find your person. And they're gonna love all of you.
Advice to all my fat girlies. If a guy is interested in you or wants to date you or whatever, ask them if they've ever dated a fat girl before you. Because nothing is worse than being fetishized as a fat girl. And if you know that he's been with fat girls before or he's dated fat girls, he'll have some idea of what it means to be with a fat girl and what it means to show up as a boyfriend of a fat girl. And don't get me started on extracurricular activities as a fat girl.
So let me preface this by saying, just because I had this experience as a fat person does not mean other fat people have had it. We are not a monolith. And even if you are not fat, maybe you had this experience as well. So I was talking on Instagram about how unfortunate it is to grow up fat because you've had certain experiences taken away from you. And I'm more so talking in like the relationship dating sense, because I can for sure say that the reason I don't have a lot of experience in that area is because of the fact that I'm fat. I'm not ugly. I'm a fantastic person. You know, I am the sun personified. All the check marks are checked off, right? Except for the fact that I don't have the ideal body type, especially when it came to high school, because a lot of people would not want to be seen with a fat girl in public out of fear of the backlash that they would get from their peers. And I have no pent-up ill feelings towards it or anything. Like, it is what it is. You live and you learn. Like, what the fuck am I gonna do about it now? But it's very interesting to sit and think about, because as an adult, like, I'm 22 years old, I'm expected to know how to navigate the adult dating world, and I don't know how, because I never had the building block experiences that my other peers have had when it comes to relationships. I've never held hands with somebody in public. I've never even been on a date, so I can't tell you what any of that feels like. And again, it's very jarring as an adult, because the people that approach me are already on a different level than I am, because they've had experiences that were taken away from me simply because of the fact that I was fat. And so I kind of just feel a little silly expressing the fact that I really just kind of want to like have somebody that's willing to kiss me in public and not be embarrassed about it, or like I kind of just want to walk around and hold hands with somebody. Like I mourn the fact that I did not get to have that youthful experience when it came to like relationships and dating. Like I didn't get that. I didn't get the butterflies. I didn't get any of the silly little love trope stuff that actually happens in real life because of the fact that I am fat. And I really do want that. But while I'm sitting here thinking about the youthful kind of love, other people in my age group are thinking about like deeper connections with people. And I am too. Like, don't get me wrong. I still want that deeper connection. I still want to build something with somebody that like lasts, that has like a longevity to it, but I also kind of want just somebody that'll like hold my hand and kiss me on my fucking forehead. Like I mourn the fact that I didn't get to experience that because of the fact that I'm fat. So that's my thought of the night.
So
So most of my adult life, I have been fat, and it kind of like has hindered me from really dating the way I want to. I can only speak for myself, but as a fat girl, usually I spend my weekends and days in the house reading about the love that I have never received. But this year, like, I told myself I was gonna like put myself out there, and I did. So I started online dating. And of course, I started online dating on Hinge, right? And it's funny because like my like family and friends would always be like, you know, you're in your head about things, because I would always be afraid of like, you know, meeting people new and them seeing me and them not wanting to date me because I'm fat, right? But I've learned something with this online dating thing, right? So if you care, I'm going to tell you about my experience as dating as a fat plus size girl online. So I use two apps. I use Hinge for for serious dating, and then I've used another app called Field when I'm feeling a little naughty. But anyway, so in the beginning, I found myself like, when I was doing my profile, like talking about my body, like, you know, I'm not a small girl, or like, I don't know, little things that, even though I have full body pictures on my profile, but whatever. So I have full body pictures on there, but I still felt the need to like tell people about my body. And then there was a point in time on Hinge where I was putting my Instagram handle on there so that, you know, they can go and see my Instagram and just like be sure this is what they wanted, right? So I would always be like super surprised when like I would match on Hinge with guys who I found attractive, even though every guy I've like dated, I've had a lot of situationships in my life. You know, if you're a plus size girl, you know what that's like. But I've had a lot of like guys who are attractive, you know, want to be with me, and I always think it's like it's a catch, like, why do you like me? So whenever I would match with like a guy who was attractive, I would, I don't know, be kind of iffy, but then I'm like, you know, whatever. So there was this one guy, and we'll just call him Kareem, because Kareem sounds like a cute guy's name. He was really cute, like my type. So we were messaging back and forth, and I told him, I was like, you should go on my Instagram so you can see and be sure you like what you see when you do see me, right? Again, you know. So like giving him a warning that, you know, when I walk into this this place, I am fat. I don't want you to be surprised, right? And this is, again, all in my head. And he sent me a text, and he was just like, you know, I seen what you look like. You know, he didn't really care. Like, he didn't even spend much time talking about it. He's like, you tripping? You know, and there was another guy who said the same thing. He was like, yeah, I see
Well,
Instagram.
don't
Like,
forget
what's
to
the
leave your
issue, right?
comment
Again,
in the
all in my
comment
head.
section below.
So when we
Dating
went on
while
the date,
fat is
I got there early.
exhausting and
I don't wanna walk
demoralizing
in. I
and
don't know, it's
often
weird to walk in.
dehumanizing.
So I'm there early.
Some society
And he,
treat
like,
fat
walked in, and he
bodies
was
as
like, you look just like your
undesirable,
pictures,
and
like,
that
you're
stigma
really
follows
pretty,
you
this and
even
that. And he was like,
every
then he said, he was
interaction.
like, why did you feel the need
People assume you lack
to
discipline,
ask me if I
confidence,
looked at
or
your Instagram to
wavy,
see what you
as
look
if your
like? I
body
wouldn't
is
have
an
matched with you if
open
I didn't like what I
invitation
saw,
for
right?
unsolicited opinions.
And when he like
Matches
said
to
that to
dry
me, it just
up
made
the
me feel so
second you
stupid.
post
Like,
full body
why
photos.
am I doing that?
Some
You know,
people
like, he could see,
fetishize you,
he said
reduce you to
he
kick
could tell
than
that
a
I like
person.
had some
Others
issues
settle
with
for you while
self-esteem, and that's like
making
the worst thing a guy
backhanded
could know.
comments
But he was
like you
okay
are
about it. I
pretty
guess like he
for a
knew
big
why I
girl.
did that, because I'm a
Even
fat girl.
worse, the
And like,
ones
I
who
don't
date
know,
you in
it
secret
just like
ashamed
opened
to
my
see you
eyes,
even
and
in
from
public.
that point on,
Rejection
I
stings harder
didn't
when
feel the
it's
need to like
delivered
warn
within
guys
a
about me, because again,
disgusted
like, they're
grace
liking my
of your
profile
stomach or
with
thighs.
these full body
Friends
pictures
and
because they
family
do
talk
like
like,
what
why
they see. I
didn't you
do get
just lose
sometimes
weight?
those guys who are
The worst
heavy
part,
chasers,
you start
a little
questioning
nasty,
if you deserve
then
love
stay away from them.
at all.
Stay away from them guys
Dating
who
off
be
fat
pandering
means
to big
fighting not
girls, like,
just for
especially out here.
romance
I be seeing
but
y'all
for
all in the
basic
comments praising the
respect,
dudes who be talking
and that's
back.
a battle
Stay
no
away
one
from them.
should have
That's
faced.
all
But anyway,
performative.
thank you so much for
Or
being
they got a
part of
fetish.
this.
Like, stay away from
Please
that.
don't forget to subscribe, like, and
I'm just
share.
saying, like,
See you
I've
in the
had
next
good
video.
experiences on
And
there,
stay
mostly
safe.
good, which is really surprising. And I've had not really bad, but guys who, I don't know, nothing really happened with them, but I just chuck that up to not me being fat, just the fact that, you know, as a girl, you win some, you lose some. But I'm just here to say, if you're a plus size girl, a plus size black girl, because I can't speak for them other ones, but if you're a plus size girl, you should try to put yourself out there. There's someone for everybody. And when I say, like, I had major anxiety, I did not leave the house, I didn't want to do anything. Like, once you start, you won't stop. Don't be discouraged. Just keep on going. Like, for real. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Like, for real. I'm so serious. So just put yourself out there. They like you. For real. They like you.